Before we start Alpha Entertainment Worldwide, Episode 3, let's talk about Tony Khan's AEW.
Man.
Me and Josiah here, along with a couple of friends, we went and saw House Rules over the weekend. AEW's first live event, non-televised live event.
There you go.
With fans. They did one called The House Always Wins, back when nobody was allowed to be a part of the show.
Yep.
And it would have been cool to be there, but, nobody could.
Yeah,
but this was in Troy, Ohio. And it started out unexpectedly with Ethan Page having two matches. Not just one, but two. He started out by defeating Shawn Dean.
Captain.
Yes, the captain, Shawn Dean. It was a quick win. Dean looked very good in his defeat. He
had a couple of hot moments I distinctly remember. So, those of you who've been fans of the channel for a long time, Oz has some professional wrestling training, and there was a moment in the match where he turned to me and said, "God, Ethan Page is so smooth."
It's true, he is.
And
But, so post-match, Ethan Page, he says, I'm not done. He said, this is the first time AEW's done a live show, and you people here in Troy, Ohio...
need to see a real laugh.
Exactly. And so he laid down the challenge to anybody in the back, and we then hear Action Bronson's
You don't even know me.
song pop up. Here comes Hook, and he's willing to defend his FTW championship. And you know it, Hook is still undefeated. He takes down Ethan Page.
Thought Page had him a couple times, to be fair. There's some well-placed big boots.
Oh, it goes back to the fact that Ethan Page is smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the another thing that I took away from it is the idea that Ethan Page, a man with a wealth of experience, is really helping both Shawn Dean and Hook, two guys without nearly as much experience as they had.
I think Ethan Page has been in the business at least, I want to say 10, 15 years now.
It feels right for sure.
Yeah.
To I'd say in excess of 10.
Yeah.
But speaking of experience, our next match has a man with, I'd say, probably 30 years of experience.
Yeah, at minimum.
That being JEFFJARRETT. He took on home state hero Brian Pillman Jr. He defeated Brian Pillman Jr., which was to be expected, again, with a man with that much experience, and with his...
underhanded tactics.
There we go. I was going to say love for cheating, but yeah, Jarrett wins that one.
Tony Schiavone would say systematic cheating.
But so Jarrett was... he was so good for somebody advanced in his years, we'll say.
That's a good word, yeah.
And Pillman, he looked crisp for as few years as he has had in the business. Yeah. Now, maybe it's my bias because I love his father so much, but I think that Brian Pillman Jr., so his tights said lineage on them.
Yeah.
And I think that he's doing good to carry on that Pillman name.
Absolutely. But yeah, a fun little match between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, good enjoyment.
Yeah.
Knew the guitar into the Lobo spot was coming because I've seen a Jeff Jarrett match.
Yes.
But
yes.
Gotta love the classics.
Yes. We go into a women's match. Ruby Soho takes on Holly Hood Haley, who, as soon as she was announced from Louisville, Kentucky, I was like, this is one of Al Snow's kids from OVW. And I looked it up today just to be sure I was correct, and I was, because I know the game. I love me some OVW, not just that classic 2002 class that is talked about to this day, but just the general concept that our local area or region is still ballpark. There we go. Is still so formative when it comes to the pro wrestling game. obviously Ruby Soho goes over because she newly turned heel and she's the only known entity in the match.
Yeah.
she spray paints Holly with the green L Fallujah.
Keeping up the gimmick.
Yes, and Sky Blue comes down to make the save, challenges Ruby, or makes it seem as though she wants to have a fight.
Literally saying, I want that.
Exactly,
I want it.
come at me.
And then Ruby says, nah.
Yeah, you ain't worth it. She cuts the
worth it.
promo.
I'll let Tony Storm handle you on Wednesday.
Yes, which I'm looking. I think that I think Wednesday's gonna be a stacked show.
I agree. Like it's
So, spoiler: this is being recorded before
yeah.
AEW Dynamite, but I have no prior engaged podcasts as of right now, and I do plan on watching. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anybody wants to have me on, I'm glad to sell some books. But so long as I'm not on anybody's show. Now, in the past, and speaking of shows, this tomorrow on Saturday, not as of recording, but this coming Saturday after this episode drops, I will be on Soldier Spirit, again trying to sell some books while we're talking Vets Talking, Soldier Spirit's channel on YouTube. So check that out. And especially if you're a veteran, like myself.
But the original point was Oz will be watching live and then living color.
Yes. Sting is going to be in a trios match with Darby and Orange Cassidy, who, spoiler, later on have a match, along with, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah, you know that dream match we wanted for the last almost 3 years now? Yeah, they're just going to put that on Dynamite. And I'm
For free.
Say less.
Yes.
So
after
no complaints from me.
After Ruby Soho turns down Sky Blue's challenge, we get a word from the owner of the company, Tony Khan.
Sweet TK.
He thanks us all for being in attendance, says that, good stuff is on the way, love to come back, all that good stuff.
Basically, if you've seen a Tony Khan promo before, it was pretty much that.
Oh, yes.
But it's always cool to see Tony.
Well, exactly. As I leaned over and said, I was like, you seen a billionaire before? Because you are now.
I was about to say, I've finally seen a billionaire.
And so after Tony did his thing, we took a brief intermission, came back and had Orange Cassidy, the AEW International Champion, teaming up.
The name, I forgot.
Yes, with Darby Allin to take on the Butcher and the Blade. It was a foregone conclusion before the bell ever rang, to me at least, that the baby faces were going over. And
which, again, classic house show fashion.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at it at all. But yes, the good guys win in the end. Awesome. Way to go. And as a matter of fact, let me just barely do it. But the other thing is that they won in a surprising fashion, at least in my mind. Neither Orange or Darby hit their special or most known moves, their finishers. Yeah. What happened was Orange just does a
classic mousetrap. His old. You remember the finisher when he was barely winning his matches? That one. He used that one.
And so post match, the Butcher and the Blade go to do an assault. And then that's when we get to send them home happy. We get the orange punch and the coffin drop. After that, we see QT Marshall. Before he even comes out, we see his opponent for the evening, a very surprising Pat Buck. As I was telling our friend Ahmed, I was like, well, actually, no, it was you. You were sitting next to me. I was like, this would never happen in a Vince McMahon world.
No chance.
So, Pat Buck asked for his release from WWE after Roman Reigns smashed and stacked Bryan Danielson and Adam Copeland at WrestleMania because he says, I've booked the main event of WrestleMania. I've reached my ceiling. There's nothing else I can do.
Literally cannot do anything.
Of course, yeah, and it's true. And then, right after the ink dried, he signed with Tony Khan, started booking stuff. Or producing matches in AEW. And here at AEW's first house show live event, Pat Buck gets to put on his boots and have a match with QT Marshall. But before they have a match, they have a verbal exchange. And QT's like, oh, I know you're a trainer, but who have you trained? Because I'm got the Nightmare Factory.
Nightmare Factory. I got the better school. I mean, but humor me. Who have you trained?
Oh, it was so great because Pat Buck was like, this might get a bad reaction, but I've trained the AEW World Champion MJF.
And to his credit, there was a light cheering and a light booing. It was a good mix.
Yeah, it was a good mix because that man himself is polarizing.
There you go. That's a good word. Polarizing.
But he is a big talent. So
Absolutely.
QT brushes it aside. He's like, that's a generational talent.
You're once in a lifetime.
He'd
We'll
be
never
doing
see him
good,
again.
doing good no matter who trained him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I also trained the Acclaimed, and anyway, the point
everyone
was,
starts scissoring. Yeah.
So the best part was it was fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I love fun.
It was enjoyable.
Wrestling is fun. So, in conclusion, Pat Buck puts on a great match with QT Marshall, but loses when Powerhouse comes out to help QT Marshall win. Next up is what I feel like was the weakest match of the show. However, unlike the internet, I'm not going to go out here and be like, oh, it's the worstest of the worst.
Yada yada.
And here's the reason why. House shows or non-televised events are, in my opinion, and honestly, I think it's more than just my opinion, I think it's a known fact, are designed to learn, or so that the talent can learn.
Yep.
And if you're going to talk negatively about somebody who is attempting to get better, you're completely missing the point. And that person who, now, mind you, didn't do a great job, but is trying to get better, was Anna Jay, A.S., of the Jericho.
fame.
Exactly. Losing to Britt Baker. But it was her first match back from injury.
Yeah. It was...
And, realistically, she wasn't that deep into her career even before she got hurt.
Exactly.
And so, like I said, weak match, but, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, like the whole point of house shows is literally just to get those extra reps in and improve while not
and that's why I
TV.
think that you had guys like Sean Dean, Hook, Anna J.S., this Holly Hood Haley, who has never been on TV, as least to my knowledge. Maybe she was on
Dark at some point.
At some point, because I'm not like religiously.
We didn't have the
Dark.
graphics at the bottom for us to see.
Yeah, exactly.
See the lower third.
But and the same with Brian Pillman Jr. Don't get me wrong, he's got a bit more experience than most, but
right.
He once
still
again fits
young
within that concept, and even the next match, the TNT Championship match. Between Powerhouse Hobbs and Christopher Daniels. Daniels is clearly the veteran of this match. I mean, how can he not
with a basic 30 years of experience, no big deal.
Like, I just been doing this all of most of the people watching's life.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And
I think
so
Daniels has officially crossed that like rare threshold of he's been wrestling longer than he's like not been wrestling.
Yes, absolutely. And so Powerhouse goes over because it's a title match, which he should.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Love both those guys, honestly. And in the main event, even though, again, the internet I saw complaining that, why is the heel Blackpool Combat Club taking on the heel Firm? Because this is Ohio.
Because we're in Ohio.
And John Moxley's getting cheered no matter what. So Mox and Claudio
Mox has been getting cheered on TV. I'm actually surprised this many people have been playing along with it.
Right. But yeah, so Mox and Claudio go over Big Bill and Lee Moriarty in the main event. And, I mean, Mox cuts a great promo after.
Like he always does.
Oh my goodness, it's just... It's nice to feel appreciated. So I was seeing all these reports on the internet before the show started that, John Moxley's mad that he got pulled from, what was it called? Scrap-A-Mania, that was what it was called.
Oh, yeah.
And he's mad that he's got to go to this house show and blah, blah. I was like, he sure didn't give me the impression he wasn't happy to be there. And he still got to get color like he loves to do.
I was about to say, he got the earring ripped out of his ear.
Scrap-A-Mania or no Scrap-A-Mania, he got that color. He's all about it.
Honestly, I mean, if you go to an AEW event now and you don't see Moxley bleed, I feel like you didn't.
Yeah, you did not get your money's worth. Although that's clearly one of the things that I feel like I did get was what my money's worth.
Absolutely.
For the show.
But yeah, it was
because the tickets were reasonably priced and there wasn't a bad seat to be had in the house.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think that was the first thing we noticed when we got in. I'm like, this is a nice little arena. Like, we could have sat up in the nosebleed seats and we still would have had solid view of what was going on.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that was our impression of AEW's House Rules.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, yes, exactly. So overall, if you get a chance to watch AEW live, I recommend it.
Absolutely.
But that was AEW All Elite Wrestling. This is AEW Alpha Entertainment Worldwide, and we are beginning on Monday Night Raw, 6/3 of 2002, with my man here, Josiah, booking Monday Night Raw. And just as a general heads up, the big event of this here month is King of the Ring, one of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh, beautiful show.
Something I
Bring it
wish
back this year.
something I wish had not died for such a long time, as far as an actual, and yes, I'm happy that it's coming back in actual pay-per-view form, and the current speculation is the tournament will take place at the pay-per-view, thank God. But it's something I wish hadn't have fallen away from being a tent post event, mainstay from 2002 until even just now being an actual pay-per-view. There were occasional sprinklings in of here's and there's, but not that consistency that I want. I literally took the time one day and booked my what if the King of the Ring had never ended for 20 years just because I was like, this is the way I want it. Now, not all of them were King of the Ring the pay-per-view, because once we got to Crown Jewel, I was like, that's fine. Quietly retire King of the Ring the pay-per-view and put the King and the Queen
King's Crown. No, sorry, Queen's Crown, King.
Just
whatever.
crown the royals at Crown Jewel. I was like, that's fine. It fits. Crowns in the title. The royals get crowns. Okie dokie. So I let that slide. Like, that's fine. I ain't mad at it. Just I want the tournament to exist because I feel like it does such good stuff for the winners. Like, I don't know, the guy who actually won in 2002. Spoiler, he's still winning. He's just going through all former world champions because that's a way to keep that big man strong.
Well, stronger.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, like we said, or I said, it's your time to step up, my man.
Ah, boy, step up, I shall try. All right, so Raw. I just told you the date. So for posterity's sake, I actually looked up where a couple of these Raws are taking place.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
For this show in particular, it's relevant because of who I have wrestling, and then a few shows down.
Well, and we've actually had that conversation on this show in the past. It's like, let's just pretend like it's happening in Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
But by having the time to prepare, it's good that you actually looked it up.
Yeah. Well, it helps because this Raw is actually happening in Texas.
Oh, good.
Dallas, Texas, to be specific.
Cool.
And so, of course, I have to open the show. Jericho and Kane versus R&D Solutions.
Oh, I like it.
So, of course, Goldust gets the welcoming hero pop that he deserves.
I mean, in this world, he's a former world champion.
Exactly.
Which, honestly, I feel like he deserved.
Yep. Absolutely, 100% agree. So, of course, Jericho and Kane versus R&D. How I start my Raws. It's like at least 20 minutes. It's a tag team match.
You mean it's not a promo?
No.
Come on now.
Nah, just can't do it. But, so yeah, it's a classic back and forth situation. This is the semifinals. It's been so long. I had to double check that. But I'm pretty sure it's semifinals of my tournament. And to crown the challengers for tag team titles.
That's right, yep.
At the situation, at the PPV, if you will. So, obviously, my guy, Steven Richards, is getting his ass whooped for like 10 minutes. He's fighting back, though. He's getting his baby face fire. And then Kane absolutely decks him with one of those, those uppercuts he's so good at.
Yes, sir.
Jericho's like, I got him. Tag me in. So Kane tags him in, and Richards hits the nastiest super kick you can think of. So, classic Stevie Richards. And this is where the crawl happens. The crowd's building. The anticipation is rising. And there's that hot tag. Dustin is going wild. Dropping Kane. Does the classic Rhodes. Kneel down. Slap to the face. Crowd is going crazy. Goldust hits the... what the hell is it called? Final... It used to be the final cut.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, spinning suplex situation. Then 1-2. Kane breaks it up. Lot of energy. Basically, it ends. So Kane drags Richards out of the ring, choke slams him on the mat, similar to how he did Rikishi.
Cool.
Back in a while. And then there's some high level grappling from Dustin and Chris Jericho. Ends with the classic running into the referee spot. Not a ref bump, but like the ref's vision is obscured. So Jericho can nail a mule kick.
Yeah, that's cool.
On Dustin, and then hit him with a clean, classic roll up.
Oh, nice.
For the big heel heat win, Jericho and Kane obviously move on to the finals.
All right.
Crowd is upset, and that's the opening of the show.
I like it. That's a great open for a show.
I was about to say just good fun all around. Next up, we obviously have to have the Hardcore Open Challenge. Kurt literally just does what he does, comes out, says, I'm the hardcore hero, I'm better than everyone, I will now prove it.
Beautiful
by
belt
taking
design,
on-
too.
Oh, gorgeous belt design, as you can see.
Yes.
And then, but yeah, no, classic.
Thanks,
He's like,
Wildcat belts, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you, Wildcat.
Wildcat. Man, that belt's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah, so Kurt says, all right, I'm going to come bring the best talent in Texas, bring them on out, and local jobber, Jabroni number 4, will come
I
out.
can't wait for the payoff to the storyline. It's so good.
Oh, it's wonderful. So Kurt brings the guy in, rings the bell, and immediately just ankle picks him and then slaps the ankle lock on, tap out. Because, yay, Kurt.
Yes.
We get a promo segment earlier in the day. There's an interview with Ivory at her home. She's still recovering from the injury she suffered from her attack from Lita.
Yep.
From the previous episode.
Yep.
And as Helen says, thank you for giving us an update. Thank you for letting us know you're doing all right. The interview's wrapping up. And then we see Lita pop up from behind the couch and absolutely whoop Ivory's ass. She then, I believe I had her pulmonized. I don't remember now because it's been a minute.
Sure.
But, so she, runs
Even
her arm.
if you didn't do it,
Yeah.
we can still retroactively
Retroactively.
say that it happened, and here's why. Because the home invasion actually fits really good with the whole Pillman-Austin dynamic that
There
you're
you go.
going with.
Thank you. I tried. But yeah, basically, absolutely whoops Ivory's ass in the segment. Hell, have her throw it through a window. Why not? Just for the fun and semantics.
I mean, we can even make this the same house that Randy Orton and his fake wife live at
Yeah.
that Triple H invades later.
Yeah.
Because
See how many people catch the Easter eggs.
if we're gonna be make believing it up, let's go all
I'm
the
about
way.
to say, you might as well go the whole 9 yards. To be fair, it was a good segment because I still remember that to this day.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad. It's funny when you know that it's not
Randy's wife.
exactly.
Or his house, for that matter. Great stuff. Let's see. Next up, Positively Unstoppable.
Oh, I love that team.
Yep. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not the finals, the semifinals. Or quarterfinals, I mean.
Sure.
For the tag tournament. No. Yeah, no, I'm right.
So you have 4 teams left,
Yes, I have 4 teams left, so it's quarter, semi.
and then finals will be the last 2.
You got it.
Yeah.
See, I know how tournaments work, I promise.
Well, I know how tournaments work because I put together brackets for the King of the Ring.
See, I should have did that.
It's okay.
That would have helped. But it's all good. Anyway, Positively Unstoppable, Gunn and Stasiak and DDP take on Al Snow and Big Boss Man, and bang, Positively Unstoppable, Big W.
Yes.
I don't even remember what the hell Stasiak's finisher is. But
I don't think I ever knew.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think he won, so I don't think he had
Not
it.
often. Definitely not in this company.
Yep. So what I had their finisher basically set up as is Stasiak sets him up in a wheelbarrow position and Gunn just hits a famouser.
Perfect.
So elevated famouser.
Absolutely.
For the big 1, 2, 3. So big positive first match for those guys, and DDP obviously proud papa.
Oh, of course.
Sitting there. Let's see. Next up, almost done with the show, I promise.
No, you're good.
Jazz calls out
It's only
Lita.
gonna be 3 hours.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Yes.
Just like any other Monday.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, I meant this episode.
Yeah, no, I know. Let's see. Jazz calls out Lita, who attacked her from behind. And, Jazz calls out Lita to the ring. And Lita comes out, attacks her from behind after the Ivory attack. And Jazz is then saved by Trish from being Pillmanized as well.
Cool.
Long and short of it.
Does that mean Ivory's from Texas?
Yes,
Okay. Is she?
I think so.
Oh, cool. I didn't know. I couldn't remember.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know somebody from this group was from Texas, but I could not remember. And
it is not Lita.
No.
It is
Not
not Trish. So it's either Jazz
Jazz
or
or
Ivory.
Ivory.
So you got
So I'm
you flip a
50.
coin.
I'm
Flip it.
50-50.
And let's if Jazz is from Texas, then Ivory is hanging out at our house.
There you go.
There we
you
go. Problem solved.
Say, I'll tell you what. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments.
Exactly.
And then let's see. Last but not least, of course, it's Texas. Of course, this is the match that the world's been waiting on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been building to it for months. It's finally Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar. No holds barred.
And it's almost sort of not quite exactly, but lose or leave.
Pretty much. Without explicitly stating that.
Because this is Stone Cold's last appearance for a while.
Yeah. What is it? 6 months?
I think
Year?
9.
Is it 9?
I think it's
Jesus
9 months.
Christ. Oh.
So he's gone here on the road to King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And he doesn't return until the road to WrestleMania in February, I believe.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it is 9 months.
Could be the end of January. We'll figure it out when we get
January,
there.
early February.
Yeah.
We'll look it up when we get in that ballpark.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I probably already have, to be honest. But
Yeah. It's
somewhere in notes.
Yeah. Somewhere buried deep in our notes. But yeah, it's Austin, Brock. They're throwing hands, using weapons,
Doing what they do.
doing what they do. Literally just a back and forth. So things similar to Kevin Owens' match with Austin in WrestleMania, just minus the goofier parts.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that a lot.
Yep. So a lot of crowd brawls, a lot of fighting over the barricade. Austin is given very, very, very much better showing as opposed to last time he faced Brock.
So
What's up?
I know that this is something we talked about off camera, but
Yeah.
is it Brock's dominance over Steve which leads to him getting a bye into the King of the Ring tournament?
Correct.
That is lovely, lovely stuff.
Yep.
Before I book SmackDown for 6/6 of 2002, I just gotta say that.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. Brock wins via Brock Lock.
Oh, perfect. Love it. Sorry. But yeah, before I book SmackDown, I would like to tell you that there's a link in the description for my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long, and its second chance on Indiegogo. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There are 5 cover options. There are the hat option. There's the t-shirt option. There are 2 posters available for purchase, and every purchase gets a Gamble Comics sticker. So, like I said, if you have not gotten your copy, click the link in the description and get yourself one.
Beautiful.
So,
What we got?
this episode of SmackDown, I don't have to, but I choose to keep a fun, quirky piece of reality in effect. I was teasing it all month last episode,
There you go.
and it is revealed here tonight. After the Hurricane beats Tajiri,
Right, this story.
After the Hurricane beats Tajiri, it is revealed that his secret admirer is actually an ex-girlfriend. That being the winner of Tough Enough 1, Nydia. Although she wasn't really flirting with him, she was messing with his head because from behind, after he wins, he is attacked by Jamie Noble, who is Nydia's new boyfriend, the trailer park hillbilly. And I love Jamie Noble. I think he's so much fun. I think Nydia, especially later when she gets blinded and they're rich. Oh my goodness, they're just such a great act. So much so that I just felt compelled to keep this act together.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I made sure to have Hurricane win his match over Tajiri, advancing into the King of the Ring tournament, or qualifying for the King of the Ring tournament.
There you go.
Before the reveal. But on that same topic of the King of the Ring qualifying matches, I also have Booker T defeat William Regal,
Right.
and Regal accepts this match because he says that he will not put his Intercontinental title on the line. And Stephanie, the GM, says, well, you don't have to, but you have to have a match if you want to be known as the King of the Ring. And Regal, being, of classical mindset, does want to be king, so he enters himself into the tournament, comes up short against Booker T. And Sucker, there we go. And the third and final match of the show, well, actually, the Hurricane Tajiri will be the last match of the show.
But the main event.
The main event. But the third qualifying match of the episode is X-Pac defeating Eddie Guerrero to qualify for the tournament. And I don't even understand my justification for having Eddie lose, because I love Eddie.
Yeah.
But I also love Sean Waltman. They're both great talents.
I can justify it for you.
Okay.
Me and you both know Eddie's not going to win. There's no point in putting him in a tournament. He's going to lose anyway.
That's a good call. It's a good call. And so, yeah, it's a fun episode that emphasizes the importance of the coming King of the Ring on 6/23 of 2002, while also having storyline beats continue, whether it is the reveal of who has been messing with the Hurricane or continuing William Regal's intelligence, on putting his intelligence on display by keeping his championship tight to his grasp.
Like an intellectual.
Yes, exactly. Like the intellectual that he is. And so, let's move back over to Alpha Entertainment Worldwide, Raw.
Got it. So this next show, a lot more straightforward. Got the other two quarterfinal matches for the tag team titles.
Very good.
So
Is this where it's announced that there are buys into the tournament for the King of the Ring? Good.
Yep.
This episode.
Because I'm pretty sure I either did that last episode or the episode, this one. But either way, like people know.
Good.
Because it should be Brock has a bye. And
Yes, he does.
I believe Jericho.
Jericho also gets a buy. You are correct.
Perfect. I'm glad you wrote it down.
I did. So at one point, I actually crumpled up and was like, wait, I need this.
Yep.
And I uncrumpled that thing. So what I did was I hand wrote what I was going to put in the tournament brackets, but I only had the Elite 8 in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, as you can see here, the Raw 4 are Chris Jericho, who got a bye, Al Snow, who will have to qualify. I'm assuming that's happening here.
Yep.
Cool. Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, who will have to qualify, and Brock, who got a bye. On my show, we already know that Eddie Guerrero lost to X-Pac, who advanced. Jerry lost to Hurricane, who advanced. And Booker T defeated William Regal to get in the tournament. However, I'll go ahead and spoil a match that will come on this coming episode because I'm going to have the graphic up. Test defeats Val Venus this coming week to get into the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason Val Venus is important to be showing up on a regular basis is because I have a big plan for Mr. Val Venus. Really only just one plan for Val Venus, other than him being on the shows and consistently being booked and losing a lot. I have one and very important thing for Val Venus to do, and that is to stand up for his sister when the time comes.
Oh, Lord. Okay, gotcha.
You remember that, right?
Yeah. Hence the oh, Lord.
But I thought that it would have been smart to do that in real life.
To be fair, yeah. I can't disagree with the logic. I just remember the storyline and it being, well, it's Val Venus. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I lost my whole train of thought.
You are telling us what happened on the Monday Night Raw.
Right. So Raw 6/10 of 2002. Man, I almost messed that up. But so we opened the show Holly and Saturn versus Positively Unstoppable to advance into the tag team championship tournament. Holly and Saturn put over Positively Unstoppable.
Wonderful.
The world can't believe it.
I can. I love that
I
team.
can. But it ends with Saturn eating the. I'm gonna have to come up with a name for that move because I actually really like the image I'm getting in my head of this wheelbarrow famouser.
Right.
But for now, it's the wheelbarrow famouser until I come up with a name. And the celebration is uncanny. DDP says he's gonna keep the momentum rolling when he faces the very defeated Al Snow in a qualifying match for the King of the Ring tournament later on tonight. Hardcore Open Challenge, obviously, Kurt decides to win with the Angle Slam this week. What a great Olympic hero he is.
Nothing wrong with that.
We cut backstage after the Hardcore Hero Open Challenge to Jazz and Lita brawling, throwing hands with the best of them, as you can imagine. It is broken up. Classic pull-apart brawl situation, refs, security, yada yada. You see Trish.
You say classic, but I'll say classic for the WWE men.
Yes.
Not so expected for the women of wrestling, but that's the beauty of Josiah booking Alpha Entertainment Worldwide.
Hey, I do what I can. So they're pulled apart. Trish is trying to calm Jazz down, say wait for the pay-per-view. Now is not the time. This isn't the moment. Say you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. So DDP is wrestling Al Snow. Nice little match between the two of them. You know, it's DDP and Al Snow. They're not scrubs by any measure.
Oh, absolutely. I
Measure
mean,
the
my
imagination.
goodness, Al Snow is getting the next crop of kids ready down at the OVW.
Exactly. And Al Snow, of course, desperate to win. There's a nice little ref bump, DDP. You can clothesline, big Buddha ref, whatever. He grabs head, clobbers my guy DDP.
What does everybody want?
Head. And then big win for Al Snow. I believe that's the first one I've given him since the show started. So
I wonder if Mick Foley would be proud of him.
it brings a tear to Mick's eye for sure. But
He
big
probably
win.
forgot he booked him.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot he picked him up in the draft.
Exactly. Oh, I love that.
Phenomenal. But big one for him. Get Van Dam on the show. He beats Boss Man.
Dang, you roll that. Oh my goodness, love
Yep.
Ray Traylor.
Yep. So big retention for Rob Van Dam, the U.S. title, keeping the hearts of the people strong.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, my main event of the evening, the match everybody has been waiting for. Too Cool versus Jericho and Kane. You remember Jericho and Kane made their debut as a unit.
Yes, I love it.
Great minds. Against these two. So, of course, very competitive match. Jericho and Kane very wisely isolate Scotty 2 Hotty in the match. Absolute domination. Kane nails a choke slam. Tags in Jericho. Jericho slaps on the walls of Jericho. Scotty, valiant babyface, trying to fight out. And Rikishi makes the save with the Sizz Kiss to Jericho's chin. Knocks Jericho out with the super kick. And then Scotty crawls over for the pin while Rikishi holds Kane down. Too Cool get the huge babyface victory.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no one
awesome.
can believe it. Everyone's like,
Yeah,
Kane
that's cool.
Beat these guys. What's going on? And then, but yeah, that's my show.
No, that's great. It's nice to have fun surprises like that.
Exactly. Because let's be honest, I love everyone loves Too Cool. Everyone loves Too Cool to death. But even when they were tag team champions, it was more just they were tag team champions because they were very, very popular.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think giving them this shot, especially a possible future opportunity against the Dudley Boys, who are the tag team.
No, I like that. I like that booking a lot. And so, like I said, when I popped up the graphic for, and I'll pop it up again, for the Elite 8 of this King of the Ring tournament, the 4 men on my side, it showed that Test made that cut, and he did it by defeating Val Venus to advance. And he does that on this year's show on 6/13 of 2002. But that's not the main event. It happens earlier on in the show because the main event, because we're in the teams of the month, and when it comes to William Regal, he pushes off his title defenses as long as humanly freaking possible.
I only have to defend once a month.
He's a very intelligent fellow there. And so he, William Regal,
Of course.
he defends in the main event of SmackDown against the winner of Tough Enough, Maven. Like I said, last week we had the debut of the female winner in Nydia. This week we have the male winner, Maven, challenging William Regal for the Intercontinental title. The important thing, though, because it's a fine match. William Regal's great at getting the young man looking good throughout. But
Of course.
But the most important thing is, as we're building toward the climax of the match, we see the runner-up of Tough Enough, Christopher Nowinski, make his way not only to the front of the barricade, but at one point hop the barricade, and he's out there and he seems conflicted, but he gets in the ring and he's confronting not Maven. He confronts William Regal and he slaps Regal.
Whoa! What? Whoa!
And so the ref calls for the bell, ding ding, and says the winner of this match, William Regal.
Wow! Oh, they did the Shawn Michaels JBL spot.
And so Regal, looks aghast, but then he smiles and he hugs Nowinski and raises the hand that he slapped him with.
Genius.
Because Regal has a high wrestling IQ, and he has brought in a new pupil, a Harvard graduated pupil in Christopher Nowinski, to guide him along in his path.
Gotta get to Harvard.
Oh yeah, he was the first Harvard alumni signed to WWE, and
So I
so
was thinking it was David Otunga.
yeah, he was actually the second. But yeah, so that's the fun thing. So Regal had previously been working with Lance Storm and Mr. Perfect, but
Correct.
due to the plane ride from hell,
Right.
Mr. Perfect has been let go, and Regal has picked up a new pupil to be under his tutelage, along with. Oh, he also picked up Test. So Regal has Lance Storm, Test, and now Christopher Nowinski as his.
Nice little unit.
Absolutely. It's basically what was the Un-Americans, but
Yeah.
without Christian and with Nowinski. But they're not doing an Un-American gimmick. They're doing we're better.
We're better wrestlers.
We're
than
better
everyone else
wrestlers than
here.
you. We're more intelligent
Exactly.
than all the others.
Big brain play.
Yes, exactly. And so yeah, that's how that we get to my King of the Ring qualifiers. That's how everybody gets there, and that's how we progress the storyline with the Intercontinental title. But
Mhm.
I realized something that I
What?
did not tell you last week.
Dramatic pause.
So the rule that was put into place with the television title is that it must be defended weekly
Yeah.
because of Regal's shenanigans. And so last week, Mark Henry, he took out in his, not Hall of Pain because we're not there yet, but he took out
In his Book of Hobbs. Different guy.
but so Mark Henry retained the title last week when he defended it on television against a challenger that I forgot to write down. I'll just be straight up honest with you, because because it slipped my mind to write it down. But the fact is, and the most important thing is that Mark Henry retained, and that
We got it there. We got where we needed to go.
oh okay. For simplicity, I'll say that Mark Henry defeated Matt Hardy last week, and he defeats Jeff Hardy this week.
That
Just
works for me.
for storytelling's sake.
Of course.
Mark Henry is doing great work, being a world breaker, defending that beautiful Alpha Entertainment Worldwide Television Championship each week because he got them skills.
For sure.
And so, yeah, we're back on the Raw,
Ah.
and you are up, my man.
Got it. So, nope, wrong week. There we go. All right. So we open up. First thing we do this week, triple threat for the last spot in the whatchamacallit, King of the Ring qualifiers. So we have, I believe Al Snow qualified last week.
Over Diamond Dallas.
You got it.
Yep.
You got it. So this week we have.
Dustin Rhodes
Yep.
taking on.
It was Holly and Saturn.
There we go.
All right, I'll be honest with you. I forgot to actually put this in the notes.
It's
I
okay,
just
but it's
remembered
important
putting
because
Dustin-
we know Dustin went over.
Yep, but that's all that matters. But
Yes,
yes, Dustin
absolutely.
won.
And so that, like I said, we're at our Elite Eight, the guys who are going to the King of the Ring.
To the big old dance.
Yeah, the big dance. I like it.
All right.
Jericho, Al Snow, Dustin Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, X-Pac, Hurricane, Test, and Booker T.
There you go. Cool. All right. So, my bad, guys. I really held things up in the proceedings, but that is what it is. Next up, second match of every week, Hardcore Open Challenge. Kurt decides to really switch it up, wins by just continuing the German suplex the poor bastard that's in the ring. With
Does he hold it? Just
Yep.
go into a bridge?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, and that's the finish of the match. His
So much talent.
about 5 suplexes before he's like, okay, that's enough. I guess I'll go ahead and win now.
all of the talent.
Yep, Stacy Kubler holds the hand up and goes, "What a great guy! What
Yes.
a hero!"
I love that pairing.
And yeah, such a great pairing. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did. Immediately after the match is over, we have who's on commentary on in Raw in 2002. Is it
I
JR?
swear it's JR and Lawler.
Is it JR and Lawler?
I swear it is.
I'm always 50-50 on it because they change it so often.
Well, with Jim Ross having so many health issues,
Yeah.
it's not impossible it could be different, but like they are the
Man.
standard when it comes to Raw.
Yeah.
There's always the chance that somebody could be subbed in, a coach or whatnot. But
Right. All right. Well, for the sake of this show, I'm gonna say JR is getting the call. He's getting the buzzing in the headset. Like something's going on outside the arena. So we gotta cut. Do we have a camera on him? Get him out there. It's Lita and Jazz throwing hands again. This time. So we're in Oakland, California this week.
Okay.
And the reason that's important is because they're brawling in the streets of California. Like, there's no one there to stop them. They're just going. The only reason we had a cameraman on them is because someone, Trish, tipped them off that there's a fight going on. And the brawl ends with Lita throwing Jazz into the San Francisco Bay.
Okay. Is Oakland near San Francisco? I don't know enough about
So I looked
geography.
it up. It was where the arena is. It's relatively close.
Oh, perfect. Cool.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
So how close? No idea.
Yeah, whatever. Close enough that they could shoot it.
Yep. And to be honest, even if they were nowhere near the arena, they could just drive up there and just do this fight. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
yeah, no, that's totally fine. I was just checking.
Yep. All good. Got to check the math. I respect it. So that ends the segment. Jazz is going for a swim, as the kids say. Lita gives her the bird and keeps walking.
Well, the thing I really like about that is we've had it so many times, whether it's Steve and Rock with the IC title gimmick
Yep.
over the bridge, or Chavo and Punk in some dirty water.
Yeah, real dirty water.
So it's just nice to see the women getting
The moment.
that vicious treatment.
Yeah, you guys can swim, right?
We can be a little dirty too.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, RVD open challenge again because he's like, "F you, Kurt Angle. I'll do a real open challenge."
Well, and the beauty of it is, Kurt changed the hardcore title to the Hardcore Hero Championship, so it's Eagle, red, white, and blue, all that stuff. But Rob's
America.
like, I had it first.
That's me.
Yeah, he's like, I did that.
I got this.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
I'm the real
guy,
one.
Damn it. So DDP comes out, Big Bang. Fun little match between the two, but you know what happens, Rob. 5-star.
Absolutely.
Big W.
Well, and it's kind of funny because Diamond Dallas is helping guide others to prosperity while falling on bad fortune himself. So I like it.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that's DDP's modus operandi, is always looking out for everybody more than he's looking out for himself.
Scott Hall,
Yeah.
Jake Roberts. The list goes on.
This goes on and
Oh,
on.
my goodness.
I'll tell you what, the amount of lives that man has saved, though, he's a great guy. I'm glad he did have his moments in WCW.
Yes.
Even though some were goofier than others, but
Yeah, have that. Yeah. Nothing's as bad as being the stalker of the Undertaker's wife.
yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
That's why we never did that here.
Yeah. And finally, we close out the show with the finals of the tag tournament to determine who is going to face the Dudley Boys for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And it is Too Cool versus Positively Unstoppable. And to spice things up, I forgot. First of all, before this segment, Mick says, before we get to our great main event tonight, and I tell you about that, the situation between Lita and Jazz has gotten out of hand. This is starting to get ridiculous.
It's true.
And you know what? I'm done trying to fix it. I'm done trying to have this be a civil thing in the ring. So screw all that.
This
King of the
Sunday
Ring.
at King of the Ring, yes.
You got it.
I
At King of the Ring. They want to fight. They want to go out of hand. They want to fight all around the world. They can do it. Falls count anywhere for the women's championship.
I like that.
They can fight all over Ohio for all I care.
Oh, I forgot it was in Ohio. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't
I like
that
that.
And after Mick calms down, he says, "Okay, and as for our main event tonight, since it's been chaotic all night anyway, I decided you might as well go to the full extreme. So tonight, we're having an elimination tornado tag match for the finals of the Tag Team Championships. And Too Cool versus Positively Unstoppable. Great back and forth. First elimination was Rikishi.
Wow, that's
Yes.
shocking.
Out of nowhere. So it's because DDP snuck in, hit a diamond cutter, and Billy Gunn's not stupid.
Of
So
course.
he's like,
Yeah,
diamond cutter?
He's like, I'll
That's one world championship.
I'll
I'm going to
take
go
it.
ahead and pin him.
I'll take it, yeah.
And then they're double teaming my guy Scotty. They go for the gimmick, the Will Barrow Famouser situation.
Yes.
Scotty reverses and rolls up Stasiak for the quick 3,
Right.
leaving
1-on-1.
and so thanks to AEW, I remembered how big Billy Gunn is. Because I always thought, he's like a medium-sized guy, it's whatever. And it turns out he's like
humongous,
6'5", whatever, 200 whatever pounds. So it's little Scotty versus big Billy Gunn. And Billy whoops his ass for a little bit, and Scotty has his moments, hits the bulldog, goes for the W-O-R-M, and the crowd loses it, obviously.
Of course.
And then, but basically it boils down to Billy setting up for the famouser. DDP's cheering him on. He's like, you got it. He misses. Scotty rolls him up, crosses the ankles, holds him down real tight. Too Cool win.
Oh, nice.
Too Cool win. Too Cool will be facing the Dudley Boys in a tables match for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Beautiful. So, I, on SmackDown, here on 620, and by I mean Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley, have invited our undisputed champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H.
We're bringing it big for the Go Home show.
She has invited the husband here to the Go Home show because he has some words he would like to say to his challenger, The Rock. And so we open with one of those notorious Triple H 20-minute promos.
What? I can't believe it.
Putting himself over. Rick's out there, woo! President it up, saying, with style and profile and all that good stuff. But it's to emphasize the fact that Triple H has not lost since coming back from that quad tear last year.
Yep.
He won the Royal Rumble. He defeated Chris Jericho to get those undisputed titles off of WCW wrestling. And just basically put himself over, getting it all lined up and ready for the big show.
Saying he's great because he's great.
Absolutely, yeah, King of Kings and all that jazz. But I am going to throw an interesting twist from the Stephanie, because I love Steph and I think that she does a good job at being boss, but one thing that I really enjoyed especially about her and Eric Bischoff, was that they were so supportive of their wrestlers that I'm going to give her boys just a little extra when it comes to Sunday's King of the Ring.
Okay.
And so tonight on SmackDown, we are getting to figure out who is going to... So we're not running our Final Four at King of the Ring. We're getting it down to just 2.
Oh,
okay. So your Final Four are going to have to do more matches than mine.
Brilliant.
So Steph says tonight, Booker T...
That's the kind of sneaky, conniving stuff Stephanie would do.
Will take on Test, and X-Pac will take on the Hurricane, and whoever wins those 2 matches will advance to have to only wrestle against each other and the winner of the Raw side. And so tonight, Booker T, best test. He best test. And so what happens throughout the match is the referee catches Christopher Nowinski trying to slide Test a chair, and he's like, "Get out of here! What are you doing?" And then the referee sees that Lance Storm is trying to take the turnbuckle pad off, and he's like, "What are you doing? Get out of here!"
Man, this is the most on-point ref in wrestling history.
And so now it's a long match, so they get by with some shenanigans.
Of course.
But the final thing is William Regal slides his precious Intercontinental Championship to Test. The referee doesn't see it because Test and Storm have come back down. So the ref's like, "What are you guys doing? I told you to." But it doesn't change things, because Booker sees that Test has the title, kicks him in the gut, he drops it, scissors kick, boom. Test falls onto his own sword.
Big brain play from Book.
Booker T rolls him over, hides the title underneath the Test. 1, 2, 3. Booker T advances to only have to wrestle 2 matches to become king on Sunday.
Booker T smarter than the average bear, apparently. My God.
So we have a completely different referee for the X-Pac versus Hurricane Helms match, and X-Pac goes over Hurricane due to outside interference because this referee is blinder than a bat. Can't find his way. Can't find his pocket in his pants with both hands.
Blind man glasses in his cane.
Exactly.
He just feels the human body on the floor. He's like, I probably should make it count.
And so X-Pac goes over Hurricane with the assistance of Jamie Noble and Nydia. But post-match, Hurricane says, I may not be going to King of the Ring to get that crown, but I still have the Cruiserweight Championship, and I challenge you, Jamie Noble, for this Sunday.
Ooh.
And
Let's
so,
see.
and so that
Hurricane versus Noble.
that is how we get to the King of the Ring in Ohio. Was it Dayton or was it Cleveland? I forget. I think it was
I'm
Dayton,
going to have to
Ohio.
look it back up because I did not write it down, but I want to say it was Dayton.
Yeah, I feel like it was Dayton. But at King of the Ring, the matches that I have booked are Booker T versus X-Pac, Hurricane versus Jamie Noble. Now, this one is kind of us conversing, but
Nope, never mind. It's Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, there we go, nationwide. So I knew it was Ohio, I just couldn't remember which one. So
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio. But in Columbus, I book Booker T to defeat X-Pac, getting him to the finals of the tournament.
Right.
I have Jamie Noble, with the assistance of Nidia, winning his first Cruiserweight Championship, and also it's his first match in this company over the Hurricane. And so how do you book your end of the brackets, my good man?
Pass me the piece of paper.
You
because
got it.
actually wrote it down for me.
Yes, sir. There we go.
Much appreciated, good stuff. So Mick obviously brings his fellas into the show and says, "Yeah, listen, my bad. I didn't know Stephanie was gonna do that. She finessed me on that one. Unfortunately, there's not a damn thing we can do. So we're just gonna get to work tonight. Do your thing, and best of luck to you, gentlemen."
Well, and the upside was 2 of the 4 did get a bye, so
Yeah.
it's like a couple of guys
Yeah.
like I ain't even stressing it.
Yeah, I'm like Jericho and Brock's like whatever. Gold Dust and Snow, not so much.
Not so much.
Well, it's okay. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Jericho defeats Snow. There's a little back and forth, but let's be honest. You've seen how I've been booking Snow. He's mostly been used to put everybody over.
Absolutely. And it makes sense for Mick because he loves making those jokes about his boy.
Exactly. But Chris beats him with the Walls of Jericho to advance to the semifinals. And then, of course, you have Gold Dust versus Brock.
Yes,
And
Dustin
this-
Rhodes.
This one, oh boy. So, Dustin has its moments, but very similar to how Brock's been treating, well, the entire rest of the Raw roster. He has been wrecking shop.
But also, think about it this way. I know we're in Columbus, Ohio, but it's also what he did to a fellow Texan in Steve Austin.
That's right.
Which is kind of embarrassed that old.
Exactly.
Great, but older man.
Yes, of course, a great older man. That's a good way to put it. And that sparks the fire in Goldust's soul coming into this match, and it's a solid fight from him in the beginning until Brock says nah, and just he throws him around a little bit, and Paul says, "Listen, we got a long night ahead of us. Let's go ahead and wrap it up." Nails the F5, big 1, 2, 3. Brock's in the semifinals against Jericho. We get to later on in the night. Brock defeats Chris Jericho via Brock Lock to advance to the finals of the King of the Ring against
Booker T.
Booker.
Yes. So I love you, Booker T, and you will be King of the Ring. Just not here in
It's
Columbus,
not
Ohio.
in this moment.
Yes. Because we all love. Well, I personally love me some King Booker, but
Classic.
but it's not that time yet, good sir.
Not
And
just yet.
actually have bigger plans for my King Booker when we get there.
Can't wait to hear it.
Oh,
Can't wait to
I
hear
thought
it.
I told you.
No, not for
Oh
King
my-
Booker. Nah, not yet.
Ooh.
Tell me on camera. Don't
Oh yeah,
post
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
This is like 4 years from now, but yeah, I got it. He was like, it's one of my things.
Oh man. But
Yeah, Brock.
did you already do your other matches, non-King matches?
Just a cruiserweight title match and
I'm sure that's something else, but I can't remember.
nope, that's all I got. Is that cruiserweight title match.
All right, cool. Well, I had
I could
two.
probably throw something together if I had to, but
Nah, you're good.
but the
Show's
fact
long
is
enough
that
as
William
is.
Regal doesn't have to defend because he already did it this month, and
Mark
the television
Henry
title
defended.
only has to defend on television.
Exactly. And speaking of those other titles, we got AEW Women's Championship match, Lita versus Jazz. They beat the mess out of each other. And the match ends with, so there's 3 tables set up somewhere in the arena backstage, yada yada. Point is, Jazz does the power bombs and she goes through one table, does not let go, picks her up, goes to a second table, does not let go, picks her up, goes to the third table.
You have so
wins.
much faith. You have so much faith. And I hope that you're right. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that would be beautiful.
Man, listen, if it works, it will probably be the sexiest thing I've ever seen.
The funny thing is, even if it's not perfect,
Yeah,
I think it would still garner the respect that it deserves just for the effort put in.
yeah. And let's be honest, everybody loves Lita.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
And Jazz is a great talent that just wasn't showcased in the way that I think she would have, could have, should have been.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. So I think it works out. And honestly, people definitely have the respect for Jazz because I don't know if you watched, but she was in Impact.
Not just Impact. She had a run in NWA as well.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the NWA run. But
I just mean like in WWE,
In WWE, her
specifically,
respect.
she didn't get that
she was
proper treatment like a Trish or a Lita often get given to them, and even people who don't really deserve that same accolade, Stacey, Tori, Eve Torres, Kelly, the list goes on.
Yeah. I feel like they had their high points, but it just wasn't.
Well, I'm just
from
saying. I
an
think Jazz
in-ring
is. I
perspective,
just think Jazz is better than a lot of.
I agree. The ones
people
that do get the props.
Exactly.
I get
exactly.
you. I get you.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah.
No knock on, extreme expose or whatever. the crap.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it was 2008 at the time, so I enjoyed Extreme Expose. Like,
You were ready.
Yeah.
You were like, this is my time.
this is my moment, damn it. But anyway, after the match, huge win for Jazz. She comes out, does the, you know the image by now, does the title over the head when Trish Stratus shows her true colors, drops Jazz where she stands with a chick kick, and reveals that all along she was the one that locked Jazz in the locker room when Lita was Pillmanizing. I did have that happen.
Yep.
It all came back to me now. But she was the one that locked the locker room. She's the one that's been
That
trying
told him that the assault was happening. All
exactly
this stuff, yeah.
getting in Jazz's head. And Trish shows her true colors, so she's been with Lita this whole time.
Sure, which makes good sense.
And so that wraps that up. And then last but not least, because I know how how the King of the Ring tournament ends with a lot of brutal murders.
Yes.
We decided to have a nice feel-good moment here. So, Dudley's versus Too Cool tables match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Too Cool secure the victory
Oh, that's nice.
by stealing the 3D and nailing Bubba Ray because it's a lot funnier if it happens to Bubba.
Absolutely. So I guess that means that Quiche picks him up and then.
I do not see Scotty picking
Yeah,
up Bubba Ray.
it can't be
So,
that way. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. And so, in case you couldn't tell by me saying that it's not Booker's year, well, Brock does go over in the semi-main event
Yep.
and gets crowned King of the Ring, which then sets him up to get to the big old SummerSlam main event. And who is Brock Lesnar facing
That's the question.
at the 2002 SummerSlam main event?
Is it Triple H? Is it The Rock?
The most electrifying man taking on the game, the cerebral assassin, the King of Kings. So who?
Run along on nicknames there.
But yeah, that Greenwich Blue Blood, who is going over, good man, and this here main event. I know that we kind of co-booked this thing, but
Yeah.
still,
It's a team effort.
I'll let you talk about who wins this here main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the most surprising move of the year, not really, but the Rock defeats. Actually, I think this happened in reality too.
Well, the Rock wins the title,
Yeah.
but Triple H was not champion
Yes.
at this point.
That's what it was. Okay.
And so the way it went in real life was Triple H loses to Hogan. Hogan loses to Undertaker. Undertaker loses to The Rock.
Right. We skipped the yo-yo jump.
Yeah, there was none of that.
We just got rid of the fluff and just went straight.
And
to
so
the end.
what we've been having is for Triple H to become a killer upon his return from injury and stay dominant after his championship victory at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
So there was no loss to Hogan. Hogan didn't lose to Taker. Taker didn't lose in a three-way to Kurt and Rock and lose to Rock. And so here, Rock doesn't retain the title. He wins it
the title.
from Triple H in the main event. I know I said I was going to give it to you, but whatever. We broke down the
I'm about
history,
to say.
and it was a team effort.
We
Anyway,
did the background, which is partially like what the show is built on.
Absolutely.
You gotta know what happens in reality sometimes.
You got to know what happened, because that is why the importance of Alpha Entertainment Worldwide existing is so important, because the whole reason that we had WCW win the invasion and create the insurgency and do the corporate merger is because so many stupid decisions were made by the old man Vince. And hot potatoing the title was definitely one of them, so we didn't do it at all. We didn't hot potato the title. We brought back a babyface Triple H, who was a babyface and never turned heel with Steve Austin.
Yep.
And so he drops the title here on pay-per-view. But what happens the night after King of the Ring, my man, at Monday Night Raw? Because I'll be honest with you, because I'm not going to tell anybody. Well, I didn't book anything post. Oh no, that's not true. I did book something. But the most important the most important thing I did on the follow-up SmackDown was have a promo for Triple H. So I hope you don't ruin it.
All right. Well, I won't say anything.
No, it's fine. If you got some Triple H stuff, that's fine.
Nope, I didn't have a word of Triple H. I figured since he lost it to a SmackDown guy,
okay,
you'd show up on SmackDown.
Oh, I love it, because I do have plans for Triple H, and they're gonna happen on your show next month on No Mercy, because
No Mercy.
Yeah, Otis. Anyway, continue with the Monday Night Raw, my man.
Yes, sir. So we start the show off with a feel-good celebration. Too Cool come out. The crowd is popping.
That's a great theme song.
And honestly, they're just happy about the tag title win. They're celebrating their moments. They do the sunglasses gimmick with the dance. And that's literally it. It's just a happy moment to open the show.
Good. I ain't mad at it. I'm a fan of both of these talents, and I like that they're on top. And I also like that you've got so many plates spinning around, whether it's the King of the World, Chris Jericho, and the Devil's Favorite Demon of Kane, or it's Positively Unstoppable, led by Diamond Dallas Page, or the inevitable rematch with the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
You've just got a lot of good pieces in place.
There's tons of fun tag stuff to do, and I honestly can't wait. Oh boy, can't wait to book. But next up is the thing that this Hardcore Hero Open Challenge has been building to this whole time.
Is it now? Is now the time?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Thought it was next month.
Yeah, it is next month.
Got me all hot and bothered. I was ready.
But you'll be surprised at how this works, because I feel like I'm going to throw you through a loop, and you'll probably understand where I'm going by the end of the show. But for now, this week's Hardcore Open Challenge has something that at the time the crowd themselves might not understand is a big deal, but we know it's a big deal.
Okay.
So answering this week's Hardcore Open Challenge is John Cena. That's right. Future 16-time world champion.
Oh, I thought that was next. Cena. I thought that was the next show. It's this one?
Nope. This
one
right
okay.
here.
So it is this show. Cool.
Yep, but this is the main reason I've had jobbers and jabronis.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because he comes out just looking like local anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, outside his body, obviously.
I'm about to say the guy's jacked, but outside of that,
it's just like, oh, ruthless aggression. Okay, fine, whatever.
Cool. And basically, I almost have it beat for beat exactly.
You should. Instead of it having a fist in the background, just have it read everything.
Yep.
But yeah, the same match from SmackDown that we all know and love.
Exactly.
Because I just recently replayed it on I just recently played it on the 2K23. John Cena 2K23 showcase. Exactly. And it's well worth repeating. Mm-hmm. It's a piece of reality that I think makes sense to keep.
Exactly. Obviously, there's some slight tweaks. So A, it's for the Hardcore title.
Of course.
Hardcore Hero Championship.
Yep.
And B, Stacy's there.
Of course.
So,
but the like I said, the match beats are the same.
match beats are the exact same. Instead of Kurt really like talking, he's like chuckling, and Stacy will take the microphone and go, "Listen, I don't know who you are, kid, but
if I was booking this, I'd have her wink at him. I don't know who you are, kid. Wink, because she's like, come on now, that's a good looking man.
Yeah, exactly. What a stud. But listen, I'll tell you what, if you can beat this man right here for the Hardcore Championship, you can take me on a date tonight. I just feel like that's something that would happen.
Well, so, that or even be brought into her enterprise.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, actually I like that better. So if you can beat the Hardcore Hero, you got a spot, and I'm gonna come up with a thing for it, but maybe like Stacy Enterprises or Keebler Inc.
Sure, whatever.
Something of that nature. Cool. Insert cool name here.
Yes.
But basically, like, Kurt's like, oh, come on, Stacy, that's not gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
This kid,
But-
he's never gonna be main event anything.
But kid, what do you have
Yes.
that makes you think you could even beat me?
Yes.
And then that's where the beat for beat comes.
Of course.
And match, like I said, match happens the exact same way.
Love it.
Literally no differences except Stacy's on the outside, but ends with Cena putting in a hell of a performance.
Mhm.
Everyone loves it. He goes after he loses, obviously, because duh.
Yeah, of
He-
course. Well, because that's how the match actually ends.
Yeah. He goes backstage, and I even have the same scenario minus a few people because most of them are on SmackDown. but
Yes.
He's shaking hands with the veteran, shakes hands with Rob, which will be funny. later on.
Absolutely.
And everyone's patting him on the back saying, great work, kid. I think you got a real future here.
Yep.
Looking forward to see what you do, etc., etc.
Like it. I like it a lot.
Next up, Trish and Lita come out, and Trish pops with the, they come out for the Gregory Helms interview segment, because,
Yes.
got to get the Ace Detective, Ace Reporter on the show. And Trish explains.
You know that I said that I didn't do the 2-man power trip because I didn't?
Yeah.
I almost feel like this could be a 2-woman power trip.
Oh, that was the vibe.
Yeah, I feel it.
The problem is there's only one belt. But,
Yeah, exactly, but
I mean, I feel like I work around that pretty decently.
yeah, no, they feel like equals,
Yeah.
and I like it.
Exactly. But basically, Trish basically talks about why I did this. Why did I do this? It's pretty obvious. It's because every week, Jazz comes out and disrespects me. Jazz comes out and disrespects Lita. She comes out and says she's going to be the most dominant women's champion that's ever existed. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't look this up. I'm pretty sure Trish is like a 2-time women's champion at this point. Maybe one. Not coming to mind as quickly as I wanted it to.
Sure, it's fine, but she is a prior champion.
He is a prior champion.
Yes.
So is Lita. I think should have been, if it hasn't been. But she's saying we have been top champions before, and we have done everything we can to try to get this company on the right track. And just because now everything's going your way, now things are picking up, now that Mick Foley's in charge, we're getting opportunities. All of a sudden, oh, it's Jazz. It's Jazz that's doing this revolution. It's Jazz that's making this mission statement for the women. No, screw that. We've been doing that this whole time. So you know what, Jazz? We're going to keep kicking it, you know what, each and every week until one of us becomes the women's champion. And that's it. That's the segment, because Jazz isn't there that week, yada, yada.
Right, it makes sense.
Yep. And then last but not least, we end the show. It's actually probably my most promo-heavy Raw I've ever done in hindsight. Because
Well, we got to give some people some rest after that
I
hard
was
work over pay-per-view.
I was about to say they've been killing themselves for weeks upon weeks, so I
Yes.
figured it worked out. But RVD comes out with his U.S. title, says he's not defending it tonight due to, I don't know, his weed hurts or something. I got a plan for why he's not defending. He's just not. Comes out, says he's been turning away top challengers for his U.S. title for months. He's been dominating. He's been working to continue to be great. And he says that's not going to stop now. But I've decided that the very last open challenge I'm going to do is going to happen at No Mercy. And I want the apex, the top of the top here on Monday Night Raw to challenge me for it. And he turns to the ramp. Anticipation. Christian returns.
Oh, okay. So, I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
I love Christian. I do think he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Oh boy.
there's one man that came to my mind when you said that you want the tip top. And when you said that Rob Van Dam is ending the show in a promo, I wanted, and no knock, love Christian, not anti-Christian, I wanted Paul Heyman to interrupt Rob Van Dam and have Brock Lesnar F5 that guy through the ring.
Yeah. So
And here's why.
go ahead.
So, Brock is not challenging Rock until SummerSlam, right? And so in my mind I thought, man, if Brock is not necessarily getting the title shot, but feels slighted by not being chosen and just F5's RVD, I just it happened in my imagination.
Gotcha.
And then secondarily, because Brock took out Christian could not answer the challenge per se, but run off Brock and Paul, help up Rob. Rob then gives him the title shot.
I see. You see, I see what you're thinking there,
Sure.
and it makes sense. The reason I didn't do that is because if I put Brock in there, I have to have him win the U.S. title.
Well, that's the thing is that's why I wasn't going to have him actually get the shot, but just be offended, if you will. But that's cool.
But-
I love Christian, and I think
Yeah.
that him and Rob Van Dam are going to have a great match.
And my thing is,
Where was he on the show?
who?
The King of the Ring.
King of the Ring? He was just in the middle. We just had Paul just say, you don't deserve to see Brock. He's the king.
Oh, that's
The
fine.
king is too
Cool.
important to show
Well,
up on the
and
show.
here's the beautiful
Big-
thing is the actual promotion for SummerSlam showed him on the farm lifting logs and baling hay and all kinds of stuff. So that's cool. I'm just checking.
Yeah. Really, so if I didn't say somebody was on the show, it's literally just because the rest of them, because I've literally been killing everybody.
Absolutely. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, so
So
the reason I had Christian come out
Yes.
is because, A, he's really hot with the crowd.
Absolutely.
Everyone loves him.
I do.
Rob already has an ingrained respect for him from the first show.
From the first, the opening of this program.
Yep. And it's a good main event for Raw. Well,
It'll be the semi-main.
yeah, semi-main.
Because the actual main event for No Mercy will be Triple H. So, while we're talking about Triple H, while we're talking about the former world champion,
Right.
I will say here and now, I put words in your mouth by accident before we even talked about this. I said, after Triple H loses to The Rock at King of the Ring, Hunter no shows Raw. That's me putting words into your show. Unknowingly, but hey, look at the bright side, it worked out.
Yeah.
But appears on SmackDown for a promo segment where his wife confronts him and says, Hunter, Game, King of Kings, I want you to sign exclusively with SmackDown. I know that you were off the table when me and Mick were drafting when we were making our picks. But I know that you can have a great home here on SmackDown. You know, come home with me, honey, sweetie pie, all that stuff. But we get, Ric Flair coming out, presenting it up, strutting it. Yeah, styling, profiling. And he says to Steph, I know that you're going to make Hunter a great offer. Because I know Mick's made him a lot of great offers throughout the week. But here's the thing. Doll face, all that stuff. He says, come No Mercy, there will be no need for Triple H to pick a side. He don't need to pick Monday Night Raw. He doesn't need to pick SmackDown because Triple H will once again be the undisputed champion. So I have given him the right and the privilege of not having to pick between Raw and SmackDown because I have that much faith in Triple H. He is the diamond of this business.
Beautiful.
And so we close out this month with that lingering question in the air. Will Triple H be a Raw man, a SmackDown man, or will he still be the every AEW man by winning back the Undisputed Championship from The Rock at No Mercy and being the man to defend against Brock Lesnar? We don't know. We'll find out. But here on SmackDown, along with that important promo setup stuff, we also have... so, remember I said that Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy both had lost to Mark Henry. That's what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
So, both these men are losers, but want to get on the winning side of things. So, they are going up against William Regal's young ragtag group of youngsters.
Right.
In this particular match, they are going up against Test and Nowinski because they are the two younger of the followers. Lance Storm is
sure
quite deeper into his training, not training, but experience than the other two younger fellows.
We'll go with that. Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
But the Hardys keep coming up short in this match, just like they did with Mark Henry. They keep coming up short whether it's Nowinski or Test. But in reality, it's because William Regal's out there, giving that sage advice.
Of course.
And Lance Storm also, he's passing it along. Now, Lance doesn't stay out the whole time because he has himself a main event match with Mark Henry as well. So Lance actually pieces out midway through the match.
So
but he's not actually the only one who leaves. So Matt Hardy is so frustrated as this tag team match is unfolding that he doesn't leave Jeff, but he gets down off of the corner and sits on the ring steps. And he's He's just beside himself. And so Jeff goes for a tag, but Matt's not there. Nowinski pulls Jeff out of the Hardy's corner, makes the tag to Test, and big boot to Jeff Hardy. Nowinski begs Test for the tag. He tags himself in, gets the 1-2-3. Nowinski celebrates with Test and Regal, and they go up the ramp. As Jeff is recovering or attempting to come to his senses,
Right.
Matt, he says, "I'm sorry. I can't take this. Life's too hard." I'm just kidding. We don't hear what he's saying, but not yet, but coming soon. So Matt helps Jeff up, and he's like, "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you." And Jeff, being a very forgiving brother, he's like, losses happen.
Dumb baby face.
And so Matt is mad because it's the losing that's getting to him, and Jeff's okay with being a loser. So you can see Matt's face turn while hugging his brother, and Jeff goes to raise his brother's arm, but Matt pulls him back. Side effect.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we didn't do it during the invasion. We didn't do it back in January, but now I am having Matt Hardy again. He's losing his faculties, and so not only does he hit the side effect on Jeff, but he pushes him out of the ring, and he this is toward the ramp side of the ring, because on SmackDown the announce table is up on the staging area, because Raw has the stage one, so it's off to the other side, not the stage side, but the table side. And so Matt pulls the top off, and he hits,
knocks off the monitors.
Exactly. Gets it all prepped. He throws Jeff up on the table, hits the Twist of Fate, and then after the table collapses, Matt, he's got his hands on his face. He's like this, and he pulls it away, and he sees
V1.
He sees the V1 exactly. So in the main event, we have Mark Henry, who has been a dominant television champion.
As you do.
He is defending against Lance Storm, and just like earlier in the night, Lance, who accompanied Test, Nowinski, and Regal, is himself accompanied by Test, Nowinski, and Regal. But the fact is, Mark Henry doesn't care that Regal and his associates are there, because Mark
Henry
is a dominant man. So he hits the world's strongest slam. 1-2, ref gets distracted. But when Nowinski slides into the ring to help Storm,
right,
he eats himself a world's strongest slam, and Regal, who's still talking to the ref, you see him throwing his hands, and Test gets in the ring. He goes for a big boot, but Mark Henry grasps the leg. He has him up for a T-bone, but he readjusts him, falls forward, world's strongest slam. So
okay, yeah, I can see that.
And so now three guys are down in the ring. Regal steps down. He's like, I tried.
I'm not stupid.
And so
all right.
And so the ref turns around. He sees three guys down, and he's like, "Should I?" And Mark's like, "Don't even worry about calling for the bell." So Regal goes over, pins Lance Storm. Now that nobody's there to interfere, two guys are down, but he pins him. 1, 2, 3. Mark Henry lifts up the television title, dominant as ever. Love this man. He is weeks deep into defending this title, and
what, like 4, 5?
So I think he makes it 9 total, and so this is 9 consecutive wins. So he's 6 defenses deep now.
I was in the ballpark.
And so next month when he defends, and I'll just go ahead and tease it now. Next week when he defends, it'll be on the 4th of July, literally the 4th of July SmackDown, and I've branded it the Great American SmackDown. And the main event of the Great American SmackDown is Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Mr. Red and Yellow, Mr. All-American Red, White, and Blue, challenging for his company, Alpha Entertainment Worldwide's television championship against Mark Henry in the main event. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Thank you, sir, for coming back. Thank you for helping me. And, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed our analysis of All Elite Wrestling's House Rules and our booking of Alpha Entertainment Worldwide. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you on the next one.
See you.